Yo guys, can everybody hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat. Hope everything is working well and as it should be. How's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat if the audio is good and where you're tuning in from today, and look forward to another great stream, guys. We're going to dive into the market, see what's going on, give everybody a few minutes to tune in as always, and then obviously just dive in. So let me know how everybody's doing. How's everybody been? How's the markets been treating you? Let me know. Super curious to hear how everybody has been doing, fam. Uganda. Always my Ugandan brothers in the stream as always. Fantastic. Big shout out to Uganda. Big shout out to Kenya as always. I was in Nairobi last summer or the summer before, I think last summer, and I was in Entebbe and Kampala in Uganda. Paraguay, wow, Mello, all the way from Paraguay. Blake tuning in from Texas, fantastic. Okay guys, we have a beautiful chart back on the screen open for you guys. I'm going to dive into the markets as always. Nepal, India, Nigeria, fantastic guys. Yeah, market has been consolidating quite a bit. Not too much big moves at the moment. Pretty consolidated price action. Just going from highs to lows, to be very honest, here on EU. Personally, just waiting. Price is a little bit stuck at the moment. Obviously, it's still making some higher highs and higher lows on euro, right? So we have the higher high, the higher high, the higher high. We have the higher low, the higher low, the higher low. However, this is only a confirmed higher low if we were to break this higher high. Obviously, current price action is slowing down in towards the highs here with the ascending channel. Typical kind of like chart formation where we have a 1, a 2, and then a third high. Often when we see these these channels and these kind of like chart patterns, you will see that after that third high is established, that you'll get kind of like a deeper overall correction as we have been seeing at this point in time. Similar price action would come from over here where we also had kind of like that 1, 2, 3, right? So we have a 1 high, a second high, and a third high. And after the third high was established, we again also got a deeper correction in towards the downside. So what I'm now looking at here is as well, how is the market going to react to these local highs? Obviously, we have a local area of resistance over here. Which is suppressing price, which is preventing price from pushing any up higher. Let's see what the New York session does and what the New York session brings. For the day itself, we don't really have any major news announcements. The only kind of like thing that we have going on today is, let's see, Tuesday, we have orange folder. So we have Trump speaking at 10 p.m., which is obviously still going to take an eternity as it's only 2:37 p.m. So in around 7.5 hours. This morning we had very, very bad pound numbers, guys. We had extremely bad pound numbers even, which again have caused the pound to be extremely weak. We had, first of all, the claimant count change, which is kind of like something that, or let's say unemployment benefits. Let me just put it that way. That's the easiest way to say. So unemployment benefits, the amount of claims on those unemployment benefits, those came in much, much, much higher than expected. Therefore, it's a bad number. You can see like the higher it is, the worse. So it's 33.1 thousand, whilst only 9.5 thousand was expected. And then on the other side, we had the average earnings. So this is how much like the salary increase is. And it was only 5.3%, whilst 5.5% was expected. So both on an unemployment side, but also on the employment side, when it comes to the average earnings, both numbers were, let's say, relatively bad. And this obviously caused a lot of suppression on the pound. So we can see this morning that GBPUSD dropped a lot harder than EURUSD. Obviously, most of you know that I'm in a GBPUSD short, or I was kind of like in an intraday short myself on GU. I can show you guys over here. I have one of my FTMO accounts. You can see here, these are kind of like all of the closed trades. You can see here closed trades. This account is currently sitting at $101,000 US. So it's going to be a 1K payout or an $800 payout. So not the biggest payout, but at least it's another payout on this account. The payout itself, or the account itself, was sitting at 96.5K. So it was situated in around 3.5% drawdown back in April, if I'm not mistaken. So therefore, for me, the main focus was just obviously getting around a 2% return a month on this account to bring it back into profits, which is again back at 101,000. So I'll get that payout on it. But the main trade that I took to get this account back into profits was this 3% return trade here on GBPUSD, which I closed for $3,000, 100 pips, 20 hours. So it was not the longest hold that I had. As you can see, I had some other positions, for example, on dollar yen, on NZD-CHF, which I was holding for around 47 days. UJ was actually a very nice position, which yielded me around a 1% return with only 0.5 lots, as you can see, for 270 pips. But mainly on USD Swiss, AUD Swiss, these two positions have mainly been a little bit slower for myself. Therefore, I haven't really been generating the returns that I was looking to achieve. But luckily, with that GU trade, I was able to get that account back into profit, and I just ended up closing those trades that were in drawdown. But yeah, with that account now back, obviously, I'm going to be continuing to trade this. GU, however, I still have some trades open, some swing trades open on this. So I'm still looking for some lower prices on GU itself. We can very clearly see that GU has made a massive rally in towards the highs. Pretty much what I'm looking to see from GBPUSD. And let me just get a clean chart for you guys. And I hope you guys appreciate me sharing as well those kind of like those insights into my FTMO accounts, just so you know that the person you're watching actually knows what he's talking about, obviously. But what we can see here on GU, here on the daily time frame, is that the price has been squeezing in towards the highs, and it seems to be breaking out in towards the downside. Now, after this overextended leg that we had in towards the highs, we've now come into corrective price action. The corrective price action has pretty much started since the low was established here on the 12th of May, where we form a one high, a second high, and then a fake out on that second high, which is often an overall kind of like insight to sell off in towards the downside. So myself, my favorite, let's say, chart pattern or price pattern that I see within the markets is a ascending channel or wedge, or a, let's call it like this. So here we have on one side the ascending channel, right? And then on the other side, we have the ascending wedge. So the ascending wedge pretty much is just the impulse in towards the highs, the retracement, impulse in towards the highs, the retracement, the impulse in towards the highs, and then you look for the push in towards the downside. Now, both of these kind of like chart patterns are like a sign of a potential reversal incoming, and all you pretty much want to be looking for is a one high, a second high, and then a third high or a fake out on that second high. Both are enough to kind of like push the market back in towards the downside. A lot of you could potentially recognize this as an Elliott wave theory, where you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, and then you kind of like expect an A, B, and then a C. This is kind of like what you want to be talking about now. I don't really like complicating trading, as you guys know. I like to keep it nice and simple. So the way I just look at it is that we have corrective price action in towards the highs, and then we just fake out on that high. So kind of like a double top. We grab that liquidity, and then kind of like the bearish confirmation is then the daily change of character, which we've seen here. If you zoom in, you can very clearly see here that we have the change of character low get broken. And then we have now formed a supply zone over here. So I'm now looking to see what the daily candle close here will be on GBPUSD, looking for a bearish candle close. Like if we can close bearish, then on tomorrow's pullback wick, or kind of like the wick forming, I'll be looking to get in to then kind of like sustain the overall push in towards the downside. Now guys, for people who are asking about the indicator, like why it's taking so much time to drop the indicator, because it just takes time to develop good things, guys. I'm not going to drop a half-ass bloody fucking indicator, right? Like, sorry for my language, but like there's no reason in dropping an indicator that doesn't work. Like, I want to give you guys something that works, so I'm going to drop the indicator once it works. So just once the indicator is ready, then I'll be able to give access to the indicator. But we spent like 6 months developing it, so we're not just gonna drop the indicator if it's not ready. As simple as that, pretty much. I wish it was ready like a month ago, 2 months ago, but we are not magicians, right? So we just have to be happy once it's done. Like, no hard feelings, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, we'll drop it once it's ready. So GBPUSD looking for that further downside in towards the lows, especially with these bad pound numbers. And then obviously the dollar index is sitting at the overall low of the range. The dollar is not really giving us very good price action, to be very good, or to be very honest. Overall, we had an area of consolidation, obviously here, the accumulation phase, then we had the manipulation here in towards the highs, and then we traded back to the downside of the overall range. Now, we're back on the other side of the range, and I'm obviously looking here at the weekly time frame, where we have pretty much gotten the overall push down, retracement, push down, push up, weekly change of character confirmed. So I'm now looking to see if this can get kind of like a new let's say revived impulse in towards the highs. Now on the lower time frame, it's looking good because obviously we have weekly demand. Then go into the daily time frame. What do we have over here? On the daily time frame, we have like consolidated price action. Obviously the market is waiting for something to happen. We haven't had this kind of price action for a pretty long time on the dollar. Obviously we've had some very impulsive weeks overall since pretty much January. Actually, let's say last October, the market was in a very clear uptrend, and then the market was in a very clear downtrend. And this is kind of like the first period within the markets overall that we've seen, let's say, some more sideways price action where we haven't really moved in a certain direction. So that's what I'm pretty much waiting for. I'm waiting for the market now to show its hand and give us a new direction. So for now, obviously from a weekly perspective, the weekly fractal's bullish. We're trading at the bottom of this overall previous accumulation range. So it wouldn't be strange to see kind of like a higher impulse up. But the daily time frame here is stalling, right? We need to see the daily time frame break that fractal high over here and get some bullish momentum, because otherwise we can just kind of like trickle down lower and lower. Also here on the 4-hour time frame, we're starting to just develop into a range where we have kind of like the range high, the range low. So the market is just consolidating overall, as we can very clearly see. So we're waiting for it to break out, and that's what you should be doing as well. So let's wait for a breakout, and then we can see some higher price action. But otherwise, as long as this resistance level holds, we can just push back down again. And then obviously if that were to break, let's say we break this level over here, then obviously you'll have to keep an eye on around that 97 or 98 level. Let me quickly see. It's 97.921. So you'd have to keep an eye open for 97.921 if that support level were to break, as simple as that. But otherwise, just look for these equal lows over here that we have. Let me get those equal lows out for you. So we have these equal lows over here. Maybe we'll take those out, and then we'll just look for a reversal back up higher. We just need to break out of the consolidation range. So that's why myself staying a little bit hesitant with getting in on any EURUSD trades at the moment, with EU kind of like consolidating at current price action. We'll be waiting here to see what happens. Obviously, tomorrow we have inflation numbers coming out in the United States. So we have core CPI and CPI. And then on Thursday, we have PPI, which is producer inflation. So these are going to be some very important numbers, which should give us some moves on the dollar and kind of like decide the next direction. But obviously, for now, EURUSD is a little bit slow. So let's wait and see. I'm very curious to see where today will kind of like close, because now what's happening is that we've, let's say, taken out this range high again, right? So if we look at this chart over here, what do we have? We have on one side the range high, which we've now taken out, and on the other side we have the range low, which is still open. So now on the lower time frame, being the 15, what you would want to see here, right? So this is like the very core principle of like buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity. So now here on EU, you could look for a potential short if the confirmation were to come in again. So I would wait for that confirmation to come, wait for the 50-minute fractal low to break, and then maybe get on kind of like a double fractal low break and look to target some lows once again. So that's what I'm kind of like looking out for on EURUSD. So that's that. That's kind of like the major update on the euro, on the dollar as well, on GU as well. Obviously, I know a lot of you are in love with gold, so let's have a quick look at gold. Gold obviously pushing up higher as of this morning. That's pretty much what we want to see. Still bullish on gold, as you guys know. Still expecting higher prices from it. Overall, on gold, we've tapped into a daily area of demand, which was situated over here. Now, after tapping into that daily demand zone, and by the way, guys, for anybody asking, The link to the Discord is now dropped in the chat, so you can join the Discord through there. So if you want to join the free Discord, the link is in the chat. But overall here for gold, what we're now looking at obviously is that we have tapped into a daily area of demand. Yes, we have fractal structure here, which might slow down price, because this is kind of like the imbalance, which should act as an area of supply. Maybe it will slow down price. But again, fractal structure happens everywhere within a market. It's all about where it happens. So when the overall swing structure from this low to this high is, for example, bullish, right? So this is your bullish impulse. This is the overall pullback. You take out the equal descending lows, you retrace into daily demand zone, then you'll be looking for a reversal. Now, tapping into a daily demand zone, which is in line with the overall market structure, then seeing a daily change of character, this is like valid. This is like correct. Like, okay, like this is a good change of character. But like the change of character that you've seen over here, right? So this area of supply, this change of character here, like this means nothing. Like in the sense that there's no real supply here to the left, no fresh supply. We're in a bullish trend. We're in an impulse phase. So these supply zones often are just kind of like liquidity building up, and they're there for us to grab liquidity and not really to kind of like trade longer term shorts from. So that's what I would be looking for on gold. Now that we've tapped into that daily demand zone and we have descending highs, looking for a long position on the 1 hour time frame. Now what we've seen here is that yesterday with the news, we pushed down lower. We grabbed this internal liquidity. Liquidity has been grabbed, V-shaped reversal up, 1 hour change of character, and now these are kind of like the order flow that you want to be inside of. So keep an eye on the 15-minute time frame. This morning as well, again, was kind of looking for these ascending lows to maybe get taken out. I don't really see a very nice entry here in my opinion. This is not the best or the cleanest price action on gold. I would have preferred to see some manipulation below these ascending lows and then look for long position. So I'll be monitoring to see what the 1 hour does. For now, the 1 hour is bullish. Obviously, demand here is in control again after previously tapping into this bigger demand zone. So let's see if this can hold and continue to push the market up higher and take out eventually these descending highs. That's what I would be focusing on for gold at the moment. Moving on into the other pairs, guys. What are some other pairs that we want to be looking at? Myself, obviously still in those Swiss shorts, as you could also see from my account screenshot here on FDMO. You could see that I was positioned in longer term AUDCHF buys, longer term USDCHF buys, and I don't see it here. Yeah, NZD-CHF obviously as well. So NZD-CHF, USD-CHF, AUD-CHF, these are all buys that I was positioned in myself. Looking at AUD-CHF, obviously pushing up higher. Now that we have grabbed internal liquidity over here, so we grabbed that low over there, and what it's now provided us with, because sometimes you could view this as a change of character low break, right, and then view this as supply. But overall, it's fundamentally bearish on Swiss and bullish on the Australian dollar. Now, what I'm seeing here, or what I'm looking for, is for this to continue pushing up higher now. So if you're looking for any nice longs, look at AUD-CHF. I think it's a good opportunity to continuously look for buys on that pair. Same goes for NZD-CHF as well. We're now kind of like at the upper side of the range. I'm waiting for this to break out. I really want to take out that high that was made here on the tariffs. This was on the 2nd or the 3rd of April. So I'm looking for NZD-CHF buys as well. Obviously, this is kind of like barcode price action, and price action that I'm definitely not a fan of. So it's always a little bit risky to be trading this kind of price action, but I am looking for that breakout, and I do really believe that once we break out of the consolidation, that's when you kind of like see a lot of momentum trades kind of like come back into the market. So you can see here that we have a period of consolidation and then one big impulse in towards the downside. So again, same here, big consolidation phase, and then here we have that impulsive phase in towards the downside. So I'm looking for something to happen like that here as well, and I'm anticipating on the fact that it's going to be another 130 pip swing in towards the highs on NZD-CHF. USD-CHF, same story, also still looking for buys. Just sad that the dollar is so bloody slow. It's consolidating at the moment, still stuck within this overall range. Yeah, not a lot to say on that. If you want to get into buys with this, I have like a buy myself, but just with a bigger stop. I'm trading it pretty much somewhere over here. I got in again as well with my stop loss kind of like underneath the lows here. Just targeting some new higher highs again. So kind of like a longer term swing, which I've been talking about in the daily market outlooks as well. So yeah, that's pretty much that. GBP Swiss might be a better option for those looking to get into Swiss shorts. I actually reopened the buy this morning. Good to see that has started to move again, because we are now obviously have seen like a massive spike down here on the pound. Main reason again was the fundamental news that came out this morning in relation to the claimant count change, but also the average earnings index, which changed as well, bearish both numbers. So this obviously pushed the pound down lower. However, these kind of like news updates are obviously like, it was a very unexpected news update. Like the people didn't expect the numbers to be this bad. So that's what caused really the pound to kind of like sell off across the board. But in my opinion, like the Swiss franc is even weaker, or should be even weaker very, very soon against, let's say, all currencies, but especially also against the pound. But looking, if you want to get into Swiss shorts, like obviously looking at like an NZD-CHF, like you're trading at a high, right, of this range. Like you're trading at the high of the range. Like if you would want to get in, you would need to wait for like another 80 pip drop. Same goes for like an 80 CHF. Like it's already made kind of like a bullish rally, but like where GP Swiss trading is kind of like here where 80 CHF was trading at. So if you want to get into Swiss shorts, I would be looking at G Swiss myself. Obviously, again, I got into some more buys this morning. Yeah, you guys know, again, very simple support and resistance play is how you could kind of like brand it as. But myself, what I also see obviously is that this is the fractal low, this is the fractal high. So everything inside discount is pretty much a good buy. So if you want to look at kind of like the 4 hour now, what happened here is that we took out this low over here, and we were traced as well into this fresh imbalance over here, which is now acting as demand and pushing the market up higher. So myself, I got into some more buys again this morning over here, with kind of like again a wider stop loss targeting a new higher high. This is for me just like a simple 1 to 2 play to trade this back in towards the highs. So looking for that on G Swiss. For those looking at other options, the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, also still in longs on this pair. On one of my accounts, I have like the most juicy entry in the entire world. Again, I've been talking about this on the live stream like for ages. I'm still in this buy actually, even though it hit like a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Obviously, I scaled some profits on this Aussie yen position, but I'm still in some swing buys from all the way down over here. I got into some more buys again over here, and I'm kind of like looking at a similar situation as to on GBP Swiss, where we have like a fundamental support and resistance play here. Again, I don't really trade the support and resistance, but I do trade fundamentals. And sometimes when the fundamentals show me that the Australian dollar is just a clear buy, because again, Australian dollar showed signs of inflation is under control, so it's not likely that there's going to be any interest rate cuts in Australia in the near future anymore, maybe 1 or 2 still this year, but they're kind of like making that switch at the moment. And when that switch comes, and when the expected switch comes in regards to interest rates, right, because interest rates going down is ultimately bearish for a currency, right? So when, let's say, interest rates go down, you expect the currency to be bearish. But when you kind of like start to make that turn again, whoop, to go up or to stay flat, that's kind of like the moment when a currency starts to become more bullish again from an interest rate perspective. So what I'm looking for here is still some further upside. I'm not short on AJ. I still see some potential for it to push up higher, kind of like towards this high over here. And yeah, still bullish on AJ, still bullish on a Swiss as well, and you're still in buys on those pairs. And obviously this was a great scale in over here, and I kind of like see a similar opportunity on GBP Swiss as well from like a higher time frame perspective. Yeah, to see kind of like a bigger swing up, and I'm still looking for a further recovery on these pairs because of the overall sell-off high. A lot of people like position themselves over here. A lot of leveraged positions got into the markets on the 2nd of April, the 3rd of April. Remember when the tariffs were announced? So I still think there's so much room for this to go up higher. Like obviously it could go down, but like eventually I really am of the opinion that all these tariff highs are going to be taken. And I see a similar opportunity again on AUDCHF, right, where we still have to take out that tariff high. I see a similar opportunity on NZDCHF, which is kind of like the closest to that tariff high, I would say. So these are still buys for myself. Now, going into GBPJPY, it sold off this morning. Obviously, the Japanese yen is not very strong still. Myself, yeah. I think some of you are probably looking for sells on GJ. I don't really trade GJ. I would have to ask Thomas what he thinks. Thomas, what do you think of GJ? I think he has his headphones in. But, yeah, he has his headphones in. But GJ obviously kind of like grabbed the liquidity to absolute perfection, man. These are sometimes like the entries that you dream of, right? So we have the 2 descending highs. Obviously, that's where liquidity lies. Boom, takes out the liquidity, boom, drops like a rock. So obviously I assume some of you are now looking at this supply zone to look for a further short position to take out these ascending lows. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just not too bullish yet on the Japanese yen, but yeah, I mean, those shorts do look pretty good, to be honest. Like from a very simple perspective, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, so I would agree. You could look at those shorts on GJ. For GBPUSD, just to kind of like clarify, yes, still interested in shorts on GU. So I would be looking as well for some further downside. Yeah, for some further downside on GBPUSD. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, daily time frame has broken the daily fractal low. So let's see. I want to see where we close today. That for me is kind of like the main focus. And then I'll be looking to position myself further before CPI tomorrow. But I would preferably want to see a bearish candle close underneath the fractal low, form like a clear area of supply. And then like tomorrow morning on London Open, we get a push up into supply, and then we sell off with CPI. Like that's kind of like my beautiful kind of like envisioning of what I would like to see on GBPUSD. Hi guys, new here. Just wondering, do you take live trades? Yeah, I mean you can take the trades that I'm in. Like I said, I say what I'm in, so it's no secret. So I'm in GU shorts, I'm in A Swiss longs, I'm in U Swiss longs, I'm in N Swiss longs, and it's up to you if you want to trade together with me. UJ, yeah man, UJ has been doing good as well, guys. UJ performed really well, to be honest, yesterday, where we kind of saw that perfect break retest. I'm not sure if you guys watched the daily market outlook, but again, absolute beautiful scenes here. We had resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support. So simple it can sometimes just be. Looking at UJ overall, like, just not a big fan of all of these lows, but UJ has like the potential to just fly. But I would prefer to see kind of like a liquidation of that before any further longs, man. Will you visit the FIFA World Cup? I don't have any plans. When is the FIFA World Cup even? I'm not too sure. Why is UK 100 going up while GBPUSD is going down? Because there's other reasons why equity markets are currently performing very well. It has mainly to do with global liquidity supply. Yeah, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. I'm gonna be releasing a nice document about the reason why equity markets are going up and why longs have been amazing for equity so far. But yeah, absolutely flying, man. Absolutely flying. Very interesting to see. Obviously, not sure, but I do assume a lot of you have an eye on Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin has been performing extremely well as well. Looking here at the weekly time frame, again, such beautiful price action, man. You cannot really kind of like make this stuff up, where we have like the most beautiful 50% retracement. And then as soon as we get into that 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, what happens is the market starts to descend. And again, how does it start to descend? It's so simple. It has one low, a second low, and a third low. As simple as that. daily change of character. This is demand, and then from there you just fly. Absolute beautiful scenes. Again, as well here on the daily time frame, grabs liquidity underneath this low over here, and then daily change of character, and then from that point onwards you just absolutely fly. 4 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame, V-shaped reversal, buyers getting in on the liquidation. Yeah, beautiful scenes, but mainly because Bitcoin has been pumping. Equity markets have also been pumping, obviously, but it's not because of Bitcoin, but there's something else happening and going on. But I'll release more on that very soon inside Discord. So if you're not inside Discord, make sure to join. Make sure to join. What is your bias right now? I've just been explaining all the biases, guys. Dollar index is not at funding pips. You don't trade the dollar index, just trade the overall bias of the dollar index by trading EURUSD, because EURUSD is a representation of the dollar index. But yeah, again, guys, for everybody wondering about EURUSD, obviously the fractals are still bullish, despite us now grabbing, what's this high, 11.15 high of yesterday. Obviously grabbing that now, but I mean 50-minute fractals still bullish. Nothing bearish about this at the moment. Push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, push down, push up. No bearish confirmation at all. So you should be waiting and sitting on the sideline for now. Any thoughts on Euro AUD? So yeah, I mean Euro AUD sold off yesterday. Let's have a quick look at the higher time frame. Yeah, so for Euro AUD, Euro AUD maybe some more upside short term. Grabbed liquidity beautifully underneath these two equal lows, and has now provided us with a 4 hour change of character. So yeah, there is potential for this to push a little higher in the short term. Yeah. However, obviously anything related to a update on the London discussions. So today on, you can check Bloomberg, but also you can check Twitter, obviously. Today it was announced that the discussions are going to be taking all day. So that has the potential to give us some news updates later today. So keep an eye throughout the New York session, because any updates in relation to those trade talks will obviously push the euro against the Australian dollar down lower. So like positive news updates, that will push it down lower. Euro Swiss pumping again. Interesting. Yeah, Euro Swiss is one for the scalpers, man. Euro CAD pushing. AJAN, AU pushing. AUD relatively strong today. Let's quickly look at gold. Not too much. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's wait and see. It seems that the dollar wants these lows, man. He wants to eat them. So let's see what happens once we reach 98,817. That for now is kind of like the main low that I'm looking at. And then let's see if we can form some support there. Any other questions? In which situations would you take partial profits? Definitely depends. But when I'm trading on funded accounts, then I mainly will look to trade using partial profits. But it will also depend on what positions that I have on that account itself. So if I have, for example, a bias based on one currency, or if I have a bias based on multiple currencies. Hi Fabio, how can we map market structure perfectly with so much volatility? Market structure is getting very tricky and confusing. Yeah, correct. That's why I'm mainly trading from kind of like a range perspective. Like on EURUSD at the moment, you can see kind of like a difference in my approach if you view the 4 hour time frame. Here I was like very aggressively monitoring the market structure already since back 2023. You can see with all the supply and demand zones. Now the analysis has become a little bit more loose just because of the impulsiveness of the markets that we saw, thanks to like the dollar index. It was a lot easier to kind of like just follow the overall trend. But now obviously the euro against the dollar has been consolidating and stuck within this kind of like range. So now I'm just mainly trading it based on a range where we have this is the range, and then I stick to the extremes to look for potential reversals in a certain direction. So I'll be monitoring as well EURUSD to see what it does today, because for now it wants to head up higher. For now it wants to head up higher. It wants to follow that overall immediate market structure from the 4-hour, because for now, like the 4-hour time frame, mainly like just looking at from like direct market structure, let's just say this is a break and this is not yet a break. So this is like the swing low, this is a swing high ultimately, what you're seeing at the moment. Because for a confirmed swing break, you would need to see a candle close over here, or you would see it like this and like this. But yeah, for now bulls are in control, but I'm more favoring like GU. So I'm more looking at GU. So obviously it's now coming into this supply zone, but this supply zone has no liquidity itself in the push down. So what do I mean with that? Like there's no bumps in the road down, in the sense that before, like let's say this supply zone over here. This supply zone over here also didn't have like any liquidity down. So what happens? You take out the supply zone itself and then you start dropping. So I'm looking for something similar over here. However, this is a stronger supply zone because of the fact that it took out this previous high. So this high over here got taken out by these wicks. So this for me is a strong supply zone. So I'll be looking inside of this supply zone to see how the market responds. I'll be looking for some manipulation before getting into any shorts at all. Do you use Bookmap? No, I do not. Breaker, I don't know what a breaker is. Fabio, is this current EU push up on dollar just fundamental based? No, it's just the market. It's just the market doing its thing. Manipulating and waiting is ranging. Like obviously you see a big swing up now, but it also made a big swing down. Like it made a big swing down, now it's making a big swing up. It's like just let the market kind of like range and consolidate and manipulate, take out the people until we have some more clear direction. Yo bro, I've been going through drawdown and back up like 2 times already. It makes me feel good because even though the market structure is difficult, I haven't blown any accounts yet. Good man. Just take out liquidity high. Opa. Yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. Liquidity is being taken on EU. That's what I do like. Like now you've also taken out this high over here. So this was a nice liquidity high. Tap into this supply zone. So this could cause a drop now on EU. Let's see, man. Like, let's see what the 15 does from here. I'll be looking at the current fractal low to see if we can break that and then get into some shorts again. That's how I'll be trading it. Bro, I want to know more about position size, like at the time of trade in MetaTrader. So it's very, 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 very simple. All you want to be doing is just filling in your risk to reward tool. So for example, this risk to reward tool over here, let's say you enter a short like this. You enter short, you see here 26.2 next to the percentage. 26.2 is your lot size, or your lot size. Sorry guys, that was stupid to say. That's your pip size. Go to myfxbook/Forex or lot size calculator. And then just literally fill in your account size, the amount of lots or the amount of pips that you're trading and the amount of risk that you want to take, and then it will provide you with a lot size, which you can fill into MetaTrader. This is what I do personally. Yes, guys, so what I want to share with you, by the way, is what we're going to be doing on Thursday. So on Thursday, we're going to be doing a webinar. If you want to be there for the webinar, guys, then make sure to fill in this link over here, which I'm dropping now in the chat. It's going to be here on YouTube, but if you fill in this kind of like this form, then you're going to be able to receive first access. I'm also going to be sending you something as well, which will help you guys in your trading. So make sure to fill in that. I'm going to be sending some fundamental ebooks as well, some trading ebooks to you as well, if you sign up for the webinar. So just make sure to sign up. I'll pin it here in the chat. Because then, yeah, I'll be sending those ebooks over. I've been working on that stuff like crazy. So those will be coming your way. Fabio, what's your name and how old are you? What color is your Lamborghini? Good one, Big Jan. There's also an indicator for lot size. Yeah, I've never actually thought about it, but you have lot size. This one has the most. Look, what's this? Lot 0.019. Stop loss. So let's say we have $100,000 account, 30 pips stop loss, Zeitabstand zu label. This is German. I don't know what it says. Yeah. Look. So you have a lot size calculator in TradingView. As easy as that. So fill in the account size, the amount of risk you want to take, and the stop loss in pips. As simple as that. That's how you can do it as well. But yeah, let's see what GU does here at the supply. Let's see what EU does. Let's see if EU gives us a fractal break at all for those potential shorts. Let's look for GU if it gives us potential shorts. For the rest, relatively simple, man. Like a simple day, waiting mainly to see what will happen. Not too much going on at the moment. A lot of pairs consolidating. I think gold longs are pretty much the most interesting trade out there to be taken. And then let's wait for the dollar to kind of like grab that low. Obviously, the markets are currently waiting for news on this trade deal to be released. Trade talks going on in London at the moment, and until we kind of like see an update on that, I don't really expect anything too much. Obviously, market consolidating at the moment, so I'll be waiting for an update on that, guys. So I'm gonna cut it here. If you have any questions, make sure to join the Discord. Make sure to sign up for the webinar, guys. Link is in the chat. I'll come into Discord in the afternoon or in the evening for a quick live stream. So yeah, make sure to be active inside Discord. Ask your questions there. Also, again, working on some fundamental stuff for you guys to drop there. Also working on the Twitter list to share for you there. So working really on a lot of stuff. So I'll speak to you guys inside Discord. I just think it's a shame, like I can't chat to you guys through voice here on YouTube. So speak to you guys very soon inside Discord. And yeah, guys, ciao. Thanks for joining. Is Zubi Dooby Doo happening or not? I don't know what Zubi Dooby Doo is, Sarab. Let me know inside Discord. But if you want, we'll make it happen. I don't know if it's something very bad or negative. I hope not. Okay, thanks guys. Appreciate you all for joining, and you speak very soon.